Hey guys, what's going on? This is Train Track Trav here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make some tacos. I know that's not usually a subject I talk about, but today we're going to be making some tacos, something that I enjoy doing. It's a really good meal. It's really good for parties. If you're going to throw a party, make sure that you make these. It's perfect. And since today is Cinco de Mayo, at least the day that I'm recording this is, it seems rather appropriate to cook a Mexican dish. So stay tuned and tell me what you guys think at the end, and let's see what kind of trouble we can get ourselves into in the kitchen. Alright, so ingredients: you're going to need tortillas, obviously. You're going to need your ground beef. I have 1 pound here just because that's what's perfect for me right now. Shredded cheese, Mexican blend obviously. Green salsa. Onions. This is a mix of Mexican green onions and just a regular onion, but you can use whatever you want. Tomatoes, cilantro, some salt, and some olive oil. I use olive oil because it tastes a little bit better, and it doesn't really matter what olive oil or any type of oil that you use. And then you have a special meat right here that you can add in with the beef. I know it doesn't look pretty, but I'm not going to tell you what this is. You can guess what it is, and if you can figure out what it is, and I'm sure a lot of you already know what it is, if you can guess what it is, try adding it to the beef, and it makes it absolutely fantastic. So that's the special stuff right there. Alright, so the first step now is you got to add your meat into your pan. Now I've put non-stick spray as well as a tiny bit of olive oil down there to give it a little bit of flavor. You don't have to, it's just a personal preference. Add it in and make sure you mash it up nice and well so that it's in good, ground beef chunks. Just like that. So now you're going to add in your special stuff, if you can guess what it is, in there with it too. Make sure you got that all in. And then you just mash it all together and get it nice and cooked. Obviously, you don't want to eat raw meat because that is not very good for anyone's health. Now while that's sizzling away, I'm going to add in a little bit of onion soup mix. I got a packet here. I've already torn the thing off to open it. But I'm going to tear the thing off and put about half the packet in, because that's all that wants to come out. And it must have gotten wet or something. But mix that in, and that gives it a little bit of more spice to it, which is kind of nice. Yummy! Alright, that's looking about done to me. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to strain out the grease and fat from it. You don't have to. I like to do that because it makes it a little bit easier to handle, and you're not as likely to stain your clothing when you eat it. So that's what I'm going to do. Again, you don't have to, just a personal preference. And once we do that, we'll set the meat aside and just let it kind of sit and kind of let its flavors marry together, if you will. Alright, so now it's time to make the pico de gallo. Now to do that, you're going to mix these 3 things, like I mentioned earlier: cilantro, onions, and tomatoes. Now the eagle eye of you may have noticed that I have some limes here. These are optional. These are something that I like to throw in. It adds a little bit of tanginess to it. You mix all these things together and then sprinkle some lime juice on it, and it comes out wonderful. There we go. Everybody in the pool. Everybody in the pool. Mixy mix mix. Everybody gets to know each other. Everyone loves each other in that bowl. Look at that. It's a bowl of happiness. Just lovely. Now with all those good things mixed, it's lime time! Don't forget that if your limes are being stubborn, you can always stab them into submission, and that usually gets them to straighten up. Alright, so check it out. We got our meat all set to go. We got our vegetables all set to go. It's coming along nicely. This is making great progress. Now, while the camera was off, I had some oil here in a pan heating up, and that's what we're going to use to cook our shells in. Alright, so now it's time to make the shells. Now to do this, there's kind of a technique. You take your tortilla and you put it in the oil if it wants to go. There it goes. And you kind of swirl it around, get it nice and warm, And then when it's about halfway done or so, you take it and you're going to fold it. So this way it kind of sets in that position and you have a nice taco shell. Kind of cook it evenly. Lovely. Make sure it gets nice and firm. There, look at that, that's perfect. And then you drain it by turning it this direction. I don't know how to describe this orientation. And then you put it on, I have a board here, a cutting board with a paper towel on it to kind of sop up the excess oil in it. And then you just repeat the process. Now I have 17 tortillas. The ingredients that we have here, there'll probably be a lot left over. Even though we're making 17 shells, it's still quite a bit of filling. So you'll have leftovers. And then you just fold it like, come on, like that. And if you get really good, while that one's cooking on its side, you can put another one in and start getting that one ready. Makes it go a little bit faster. If you want, you can try adding a little bit of salt to the oil, which will kind of make the shells kind of absorb it, giving it a little bit of a salty flavor as they cook. Alright, here's the completed shells. Shells are all set to go. Meat, vegetables, you got your green sauce, and you've got your cheese. Now I'm going to show you how I personally prefer to set these things up. Step 1. Your shell. Then you put the meat in. Then the patented Pico de train track. Then your green sauce, just like that. And cheese on the top. Perfect. Alright guys, so that's how it's done. That's how I make tacos. That's just the way that I do it. You can mix and match the ingredients any way you want and experiment, because that's pretty much what cooking's about. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to give it a like if you did. And I'll be seeing you around next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.